Yes, yes. So we're back for another episode of Karat Juice. This is the sixth episode. Today is Monday, March 22nd. This episode is going to drop on Tuesday, March 23rd. And it's good to have you guys back. Hope everybody's doing well and good health. Abiding by the CDC guidelines, the social distancing. We have summer coming. Everybody, please be safe. Take care of yourselves. All right, let's get into it. So some housekeeping before we start. I want to plug an episode that I recently did with a friend here in GR. Go check out, if you haven't already, I'll put the link in the description. A Talk in the Attic, episode 103, where I'm actually interviewed. So if you want to know more about me and my background and some in-depth information to get further context on who I am, you should check that out. So go check out A Talk in the Attic, episode 103, and just check out the show in general, and make sure that you provide some love. Check out the YouTube link that's going to also be added in there. We have a YouTube link that's attached to the episode. Kirk did a great job. It's hashtag A Talk in the Attic. Leave a review on his show. Subscribe, like, give him some feedback and love. He did a great job. I enjoyed my time there. Yeah. So we're going to get into this show here. So this past week, it's been quite the ride, to say the least. There's been a lot of different things that have happened, and there's some news that popped off this past week that was worth talking about for sure. So without further ado, let's get into it. So first off, the first article I want to cover, it's coming from People magazine. Here's the title. A man waiting for his last paycheck from his old job gets $915 in oiled pennies instead, according to his girlfriend. That's right. So apparently, let's go into further context on this one. So apparently, a Georgia man received quite an unpleasant surprise on his driveway recently after asking his former employer for his final paycheck. Andreas Flatten was shocked to find $915 worth of oily pennies on his driveway Friday, 4 months after he left his job at Walker Luxury Auto Works in Peachtree City, according to an Instagram post from Flatten's girlfriend, Olivia Oxley. So, Olivia told People that the pennies were the exact same amount that her boyfriend's final paycheck was worth. She believed his former boss, Miles Walker, was behind the stunt after Flatten complained about the delay in receiving his money. Wow. How petty can you be? First of all, you wait 4 months to get the person their money, and then you drop off tons of pennies in a wheelbarrow. No, not even in a wheelbarrow. He just put it on the driveway. Like, I'm going to link the article to this in the description. He left the oily pennies in the driveway. Not just the pennies, but he put oil on them. I mean, like, this guy, like, how bad of an employee do you have to be for somebody to go to this level to not pay you? Like, this guy went out of his way to give this dude, to make this dude's day horrible. Like, I don't like this guy so much. I'm going to go and buy a bottle of olive oil, drench penny. First of all, how do you get $915 worth $1,500 $1,500 worth of pennies. Do you just have that laying around? No, this dude had to make a specific trip. He had to plan to get that many pennies just to make this guy's day horrible. Like, goodness gracious. I got to chuckle out of this because it's just another level of vindictive and cruel nature to do this. Like, this guy obviously eats Cheerios for breakfast every single day with no milk. Like, like he would put Scrooge, he makes Scrooge look like a jolly character. He'd make Scrooge look like SpongeBob SquarePants. Like, this is crazy. Like, on a scale from 1 to 10, his rating of this employee has to be like a -2. Like, for you to not want to pay it's more to the story. For you not to want to pay somebody that bad that you're going to go out of your way that far, there's more to the story. I need more answers. You need more people. Goodness gracious. So apparently the couple got some friends to help out to pick up the pile of pennies or whatever. It was a 500-pound pile. And this is the best part. There was a 500-pound pile of pennies with a handwritten note that read F-U. French toast you. Wow. And then Olivia also said in the article, I'm not sure what's worse. The fact that this man is so miserable, he can't accept an employee leaving because he's the biggest a-hole I've seriously met, or the fact that he went through that much effort to get $915 worth of heavy pennies just to say F you. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of respect this guy when I think about it a little bit more. Like, goodness gracious. Petty McGee right there. Goodness. Man. Whew. All right. So, goodness. All right. So, moving on. I just thought that was funny. So, moving on. We are racing along. And speaking of racing, did you hear what Danica Patrick said recently? Da-da-da-da-da. I'll be here all night, folks. I saw another article, and the article is also provided by People, and it states, Danica Patrick says, all right, here we go. So, Danica Patrick, if you don't know who Danica Patrick is, she's 38, pretty attractive female race car driver, professional race car driver. So, according to an article that was posted by People that was published on March 19th, Danica Patrick says her next romantic partner is going to be an extremely high quality person. She goes on to say, I know what I want now and I'm not willing to compromise. And she said this in relation to finding romance. So the retired NASCAR driver, the article goes on to say, who was 38, talked about what she looks for in a partner during an appearance on the Tamron Hall show this past Friday. So she goes on to say, to provide further context, when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want, but you know what you don't want, so you know what you do. And so maybe it's not necessarily that they have their work cut out for them, but that they're going to be an extremely high quality person with a lot of boxes to check. So I don't know if you guys know this or you've just been sitting under a tree, but she was dating Aaron Rodgers. She dated Aaron Rodgers before this. Yes, that Aaron Rodgers. Discount double check. Can throw touchdowns from anywhere on the field. Apex predator. And one of the highest earners in the world as far as when it comes to athletes. A quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. So when she says she has all these standards and all this stuff and everything like that, did she know that she had it? She had Aaron Rodgers. What else do you want, lady? Goodness gracious. So, also in the article, it goes on to say Danica Patrick previously dated NFL star Aaron Rodgers, yes. Although the two split in July of the last year, after 2 years together, her rep confirmed that they were first a couple January 2018. And also a little caveat, Rodgers is currently engaged to actress Shailene Woodley. I don't know how much Danica likes that, but we'll move on, okay? So I just find it very interesting that she's not willing to compromise when it comes to finding somebody. But come on, you got to have, well, I guess it's hard to have some kind of realism, huh, when you dated Aaron Rodgers and it didn't work out. Like who's going to get better than that? Who you going to date now? The Prince of Syria? Like how do you get better than a Hall of Fame quarterback in his prime? I mean, he could throw the ball 70 yards. Was that not enough for you? Sheesh. Goodness gracious, man. Some girls nowadays, they'd be happy if a guy had a job and all his teeth. You had Aaron Rodgers. Well, good luck to you, Miss Patrick. I hope it works out for you. I wonder why she doesn't date NASCAR drivers. I feel like they would have something in common. Just saying. I mean, you guys can both, look under the hood together. You can change the oil. He could check the washer fluid. I mean, it'd be a perfect, perfect match as far as I'm concerned, right? No. Apparently she's in the quarterbacks. All right. Thank you for listening to the Karat Juice podcast, and I want to let you know about one of our sponsors, Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, let me tell you a little bit about it. First of all, it's free. You know I'm always about a deal, so that's a big plus right there. There are also creation tools in the app and in the software that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will also distribute the podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more platforms. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's literally everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. This next topic, I had to double take when I first saw it. I don't know if you've heard, but I was strolling Twitter recently and I saw that Kylie Jenner has something to posted something recently about her makeup designer. And it's really a dire situation that occurred with this young person. So let me give it its proper due here. So pull up this article. So over the past, I think it was over the weekend. So apparently Kylie Jenner sparked some fury recently. And this tweet was from March 21st, posted by Pop Crave on Twitter. So Kylie Jenner sparked fury by asking fans to help raise $60,000 for her friend Samuel Rada's surgery after she donated $5,000. And before I go any further, Samuel and his family, I wish him a speedy recovery. I hope he does everything, comes back together, that he gets healing and recovery and everything goes smoothly. But yeah, rest up. I wish you the best. I hope you heal up. So in this Instagram story that Kylie posted recently, she said, "May God watch over and protect you at Makeup by Samuel. Everyone take a moment to say a prayer for Sam, who got into an accident this past weekend, and swipe up to visit his family's GoFundMe." So in this accident that Mr. Rauda had, the makeup artist who does makeup for Kylie Jenner, her makeup artist, was thrown from a moving vehicle, suffering internal bleeding and 8 brain injuries after hitting his head on the pavement. Like a really dire, horrible situation. And I don't want to make light of that in any way. But the hypocrisy on the other end, this person does a service for you, Kylie. From what Forbes and everybody is saying, you're a billionaire. That's with the B. B as in bombastic. B as in bold. She's a billionaire. And she put $5,000 up for his medical expenses and is requesting the other $55,000 from her fans. What? Do you know what $5,000 means to a billionaire? Like, if people want to help, fine. But this is not the place and time to be requesting charity from people when you're a billionaire. It's just baseless, man. Like, at what point do we realize that Kylie Jenner does not care about you? Kylie Jenner cares about just that. Kylie Jenner. Like, goodness gracious. I just can't. Like I said, I wish that man the best. I hope he recovers. I hope he gets all understanding back with his brain and everything. But I saw that and it just solidified my stance on how much I disliked her already. You can have all the money in the world. You can have all the fame in the world. But it does get to a point where you can lose your soul and you can lose your spirit. And she's getting close. Like, I understand people being in a dire situation and asking for money when they're in need, but by no means am I, as a billionaire, giving $5,000 to somebody who needs $60,000, who's in my life and does a service for me and that I care enough about that I'm cared about their well-being and what's going on. Like, who in the world? Somebody needs to go talk to that woman and say, like, this is not it, girl. Really? I'm just gonna let that sit there and rest. Wow. So, I think the moral of the story is money is not everything, but there has to be some kind of context towards the amount of money you have when you're asking for charity. In a dire situation like that, that's time sensitive, where somebody that you know needs help and needs it promptly and swiftly. In that situation, you just pay the money. If I had that much money, I would just give it to a friend in need. Even if it wasn't a friend in need, if it was just somebody I heard had that type of injury or something and I could do it and help, I would just give it. I think this is a testament to how far a lot of people have fallen in this day and age due to greed and due to the access that people have to people through social media. Everything is like GoFundMe. I swear, next thing you know, people are going to be like, I'm hungry. I want a steak dinner. Let me put it on GoFundMe. Where's the accountability in life? And I'm not trying to put this on the family by any means, but I'm talking about for people that just post on GoFundMe pretty much and use it like an extension of their bank account. That's not cool. All right. So before we close out the show and do our last topic, I have one more message. Okay, so to close out the show, last thing I wanted to talk about. Guess what happened to Saweetie? Apparently, if you haven't found out, she didn't get enough Birkins, and now guess what? She's on the streets. Wow. Imagine the hypocrisy and how things have turned in the life of Saweetie. So if you don't know, Saweetie is a rapper. She's from the Bay Area, and she made headlines, what was it, last year? When on somebody's, on some media platform, she stated, if a man, and it was talking about relationships, she said, if a man is not buying you a Birkin bag, and if you don't know what a Birkin bag is, a Birkin bag is like a bag that could be as much as $30,000 to as much as $100,000, a very expensive luxury bag. And she was saying to other women that if a man that is interested in you is not buying you a Birkin bag, you could toss him to the streets. Like pretty much you could just let him be out there single for everybody else. He's not worthy of you. So for the streets, when I'm saying that, that's what she meant it by. So if he ain't buying you Birkins and lavish you with all these gifts and everything, he's for the streets. He's not worthy of you, right? And at that time, she was with Quavo. And if you don't know who Quavo is, he's with the Migos. Very popular group. I mean, I know you know who the Migos is. Walk it like I talk it. Yeah, walk it like I talk it. The same foods. Got the same moves. All right, that's my impression. Come on, you guys know the Migos, trap group extraordinaires, have completely changed, a completely genre of music. Their song T-Shirt, still one of the hardest songs I've ever heard. The beat is fire. Come on, we all know about the Migos. So Quavo, part of that group, and he was dating this young lady. And apparently buying her Birkins. And apparently lavishing her with money and all these trips and everything like that. And I guess he didn't get her enough Birkins because they split. So this article, the source is courtesy of Complex. And according to the article, after a couple of years together, Saweetie has confirmed on Twitter that she and Migos rapper Quavo have broken up. So apparently, this is what Saweetie wrote. I'm single. I've endured too much betrayal and hurt behind the scenes for a false narrative to be circulating that degrades my character. Presents don't band-aid scars, and the love isn't real when the intimacy is given to other women, according to Saweetie. So her tweet seems to suggest that Quavo, just like his Migos bandmate Offset, have been caught cheating. The rapper has yet to respond to such allegations. So one thing she doesn't tell you when it comes to the lavish lifestyle, the Birkin bags and all that a lot of people that can bestow those gifts upon people are people who have a lot of options and that usually, exercise those options. And then she gets put into a situation like this. She wanted the Birkin bags. She wanted the lavish lifestyle. But what did it get her? It didn't get her somebody that was treating her the right way. It didn't get her somebody that was treating her, with respect, because she wasn't demanding respect. She was demanding Birkin bags. So it's just a cautionary tale for a lot of people in this situation that money isn't everything, material things isn't everything. And sometimes you need to have something deeper in your connection than a damn Birkin bag and some sandals and some trips to Cabo and, 5-star dinners. Well, 5-star dinners actually sound good, but you know what I mean. Come on, man. We got to be more than that. We got to be more than material things. When did it get to a point in this culture where the material things are like all that I see blasted through culture, especially in Black culture and social media and stuff? We are such consumers that it's ridiculous. Like, why don't you buy a pair of jeans rather than a $1,200 pair of designer jeans? You still just putting your ass in them. Like, come on, people. Is the fabric gonna hit your thighs that much better? Really not. It's really ridiculous when you think about it. Like, and I'm not saying you shouldn't have nice things, but maybe you should have maybe you get a luxury belt or a luxury pair of boots or something like that after you have a house. Right? I'm working on myself. I'm still trying to get better each and every day, but I know for a fact I'm not going to be buying no designer jeans or designer bags or designer things like that. I rock Adidas. Okay. I like Cole Haan. Okay. Highest I'm going for a pair of boots is $300, and I'm only buying them on sale. When did it become not cool to get discounts? Well, in that case, I don't want to be cool. In that case, I want to be different. If you guys are zigging over here, I'm zagging that way. I've always been like that. Even when I was growing up and I was in high school, there was a lot of fights and a lot of people, a lot of machoism and who's big and who's bad. When somebody would be running to a fight to the left, I was walking the other way, going to work or going to basketball practice or heading home. Do not migrate with the crowd. Life is all about making choices. And the choices that you make can affect you for the rest of your life. So I'm going to leave you with this. And I'm going to leave you with this. I recently had a conversation with a wise woman who said, they say that the opposite of hate is love, but that's not entirely true. The opposite of hate is communication. Thank you for listening. Please take the time to check out A Talk in the Attic with Kirk Ross. I'm going to leave a link in the description of this episode. Please like, subscribe on YouTube, leave a review and feedback on that episode. You get further context on who I am. And make sure you check out Kirk. He does great things. I loved my experience over there. And on this show, make sure that you like, you subscribe, that you interact with me on social media. I want this to be interactive. And leave a review if you haven't already, and subscribe if you haven't already. The shows will be released every Tuesday. In the interim time, make sure that you hug somebody, you love somebody, you do something good for somebody who's in need. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.